Hi, this is Thomas with Believe in the Run.
This is Robbie with Believe in the Run.
This is Megan with Believe in the Run.
And you're listening to The Drop. We are back. It's 2025.
Quarter century into the century.
You had to think about that. Is it quarter? Yeah.
It is weird to think 2000 was 25 years ago. That's weird.
I thought it was weird. I was looking at photos and it was like 2020. I was like, that wasn't that long ago. I'm like, that was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Like some people graduated from college since then.
A lot of people probably.
You know, who
On the
knows?
4-year plan.
If they had good grades. Yeah, the 5-year plan always was nice.
Yeah. I did the 4.5-year plan.
You know what else is going on, Robbie?
What?
Grit.
Grit is happening.
Meg was telling me an interesting fact that you just figured out about grit.
Actually, we figured it out when we were at our friend Jared's this weekend when he was trying to figure out what day it was on. And Jarrett Weisberg said, this is the easiest thing to figure out. It's January 6th. It's the sixth day.
Yeah, it's 1 month.
I think the problem was that I didn't know what the date was, so I couldn't figure out what
That'll
day
do
it was.
it.
Well,
That'll do it.
It also makes sense if you do, like, if you skip a day.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't had to skip a day yet. Tomorrow will be my first day off since grit started. So it's real easy. I'm like, grit day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But tomorrow, like, do I stick with it's grit day
No, you stick to
7?
the calendar.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's like you just stay.
Keep
so
it easy.
It's not how many days I ran. It's grit day number, whatever the date is.
Yeah.
It's been quite gritty here, too.
It has been gritty, but I have to say, man, the participation from our members has been incredible.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's doing some awesome stuff. I feel like I have not been gritty, and I'm sorry about that. I started off
I think, though, that it's good what you do.
Okay. Is it?
Yeah, because here's the thing. You get the full range of grittiness from our in-house staff.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't you run like 15 miles on
Yeah,
the
first day was great. Started out well. It was like 15 miles first day, 1,000 feet of elevation.
That's gritty.
And then he's like, that's it for the month.
It felt like I ran an actual marathon because I ran 12 miles once since Chicago Marathon, and that was my longest long run.
Why did you do 15?
Well, because me and my buddy, who I usually spend New Year's Eve with, we always do a half marathon on New Year's Day.
Right.
I think
Which is 13 miles, by the way.
Yep, 13.1 actually. Yeah. And a 13.1 mile marathon.
So why did yours turn into 15?
He pulled a Robbie reverse Uno card and underestimated the distance of how far we went out. And he was like, yeah, I think it's going to be like 14 going back. I was like, and this is a run where, like, by mile 2, I was checking my watch. Like, how far did we go? Because it was a headwind the whole way out, and it was pretty cold. It was like 20 degrees that day, or 25 degrees.
And a little bit of snow on the ground.
Yeah, and so I was like, dude, this sucks. And then by the end, we got like 14 and a half. I was like, might as well do 15 at this point.
I always find myself negotiating with myself at the end of the run. Like, if I'm 2 miles out and I know that the run will end at like 1 3/4 mile, I'm like, I'll just finish that. But I know as soon as I get to that last 3/4 mile, I'll be like, what's another quarter mile? Might as well drop it in.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, so it was, I did not feel great after that. And I think I was also coming down with a cold, and so that probably didn't help. And then the next couple of days I was under the weather. So.
What shoes did you wear for the 15?
The Asics Gel-Nimbus. No, I didn't wear that.
I thought you wore those. I thought that was the snow run.
No, that was a different. That was like the week before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So no, this was the Gel-Nimbus 27, which, meh.
It's a good, I like it. It's a very cush soft, but yeah, I don't know that I'd wear it for 15 miles.
I didn't like it.
I feel like Asics with their shoes right now is kind of going through this, like, okay, we have our legends, Kayano, Nimbus, Cumulus. They're all over on this side. And then you've got the exciting stuff like Nova Blast, Meta Speed, all that stuff.
Yeah.
All that's over on this side with the Super Blast.
Yeah.
And you're kind of like going back to the Nimbus and stuff. It just feels like
it's less exciting.
Yeah. And honestly, they made the Nimbus too close to the Kayano for me. It's got this wide platform.
Yeah.
It's very stable. The foam, it's supposed to be their max cushion. It's not gooey. It's
pretty soft.
It's soft, but it's not like what, like if you're gonna line up like the Mag Max and the Glycerin Max, those shoes that were like, okay, these
Ghost Max.
No, I'm actually thinking the Glycerin Max.
Oh, okay. Oh, what are you saying? Sorry, go ahead.
Those Max cushion shoes.
Yeah.
Even if you go into the New Balance, which might be almost too soft, is the more. But like the Nimbus doesn't kind of fit there. It kind of feels like a higher stack daily trainer.
Yeah, whatever. You can read the review when it comes out. I didn't like it. I think I'm done with it. The Nimbus 24 is still my all-time favorite Nimbus, and that hasn't changed. But it's a different shoe. I don't know.
Well, we're actually talking about running. Mike just went out.
Yeah, there you go.
I said we're actually talking about running.
I know, that's surprising and shocking.
Is this a new trend for 2025?
We're out of practice. We haven't recorded a podcast in 2 weeks.
Meg doesn't have anything to do now. She's like, oh, we're on track.
Yeah. I feel like I did.
Well, we recorded before Christmas, so that was our last podcast.
I think we need to talk a little bit more about some of the people doing
That's what I wanted to say. Yeah, sorry. I kind of like sidetracked that.
So we had somebody write in, I think on Instagram or something.
No, to our email.
To our email and say, hey, it might be fun to have some challenges within the challenge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which I was like, yeah, that's actually a fun idea. So we threw out our first one. And I'm going to tell you what the prize is because I haven't told anybody what the prize is.
Oh, okay.
But we did a costume challenge to go run some of your miles in a costume, and it did not disappoint.
Yeah, I was going to pull up so we could talk about. I was just making sure we mentioned them. You can. Off the top of your head.
When we threw that out there, in my mind, I was like, man, we're going to get like one person that does it.
Same.
But that's because Megan you are not a
because I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get to. But there's plenty. I knew that this was going to be successful. I didn't think it would be as creative as it's gotten. Mm-hmm. Off the hand, or off the top of my head, I should say, not off the hand. I thought the Kafuzi guy, at first, I just thought he was just wearing a lot of Path Project.
Well, it's a woman, right?
Yeah.
I know, but I didn't see it. I thought because it had a mustache and a goatee.
Yeah.
And I was just scrolling through the stories, and I'm like, oh, it's just a dude wearing a lot of Path Project stuff.
Yeah.
He's a big Kafuzi fan. And then I realized it was a Kafuzi costume. So Kafuzi, if you didn't see it tagged, it's probably in this podcast right now, but that one was good.
On that realm, Allie Feller, someone's daughter dressed up as Allie Feller.
Yeah, there was somebody who recreated an entire race finishing scenario.
Yeah.
Where her and her son, I think, were dressed up as peanut butter and jelly, and then the announcer was, Allie Feller.
I also thought Teletubby was great.
That one was super great.
And then there's Lindsay, or I think her name's Lindsay, has been doing like a costume a day. Almost.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's done like 6 costumes or something. I don't know.
And then there was so obviously a Forrest Gump one. Somebody dressed up in all Old Bay, which shout out to Maryland.
Krabby Patty.
I think there's like a couple chickens. Oh, someone did dress up as Matt Choi, which is hilarious.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah,
no, his brother.
Yeah, he did. Tony.
He wore the yellow vest with an e-bike.
Did you see Carl's costume?
Was it just trying to get into Berghain?
Yeah, he did ashless chaps with a bandit top.
So it was. Okay. All right.
Which is tough to do in this kind of wind chill.
As someone who has kids, too, that love this book series, someone dressed up as like the pigeon from Mo Willems' books.
Yeah, that's
Don't
good.
Let the Pigeon Run the Marathon.
That's good.
All right.
By the way, did you see, speaking of pigeons, this one really upset me. There was a halal truck in New York City.
Serving pigeons?
They caught. He takes a plastic bag and they feed the pigeons, and then they just scoop the plastic bag and they scooped up a pigeon and put it. I don't know if they cooked it or not, but they brought it into the truck to where they were preparing for it.
I mean, it could be a pet too.
Yeah. Tasty
pigeons.
pet.
Pigeons would probably be pretty good.
Ugh.
Yeah, but okay. So say that they're not cooking it and feeding it to you.
Yeah.
Right.
Is a pigeon halal? I don't know what the rules of nutrition are in that.
I know pork
respect.
isn't, so you don't see any pigs getting scooped up.
I'm just gonna Google and see what comes up.
But the thing is, even if they're not feeding it to you, a pigeon is probably not the cleanest of animals to have near your food.
That's true, but it does say, are duck and pigeons halal? There's no evidence to suggest it is haram to eat them. Is it haram? Is that right? So yeah, they are permissible.
Yeah. So I don't know. At your own, I don't know how you feel about eating pigeon, but I don't think that's what I want.
I would take a bite.
Enough spices, it's probably fine.
I would take a bite.
Do you really think there's that much meat on? Well, I guess they serve squab.
Oh, you're right. It is an actual story.
Yeah. Who's reporting it?
Dude, was that the one that... Did we eat at that one?
Yeah, you probably did.
You've already eaten pigeon, it turns out.
Cannibalism.
Man, people really get on the Donner Party for the whole cannibalism thing. And
Donner Party was only one of them. There's a crash in the Andes or whatever. I mean,
that they made the movie about.
Yeah.
Society of Snow.
Why do we stick with the Donner Party? That happened so long ago.
I don't know, but I feel like people judged them for it back then. And I'm like I'm not here to normalize it or anything, but if you're trying to survive, what are you going to and it's not like were they murdering people to eat?
I think that was the thing.
I think it was kind of like in that movie, I'm Not Dead Yet.
Yeah. The Monty Python.
Yeah.
But in the society, the one in the Andes, I think that the persons had already been deceased.
Right. And they were the survivors ate some of the people. But here's the thing. I think
I'm not going to judge someone if they're trying to just survive.
The Donner Party, I think why you get a lot of judgment, it's family. Like you were crossing.
Oh.
It would be like if you.
Oh, that was just the whole family.
The Donner Party was the Donner. It was like.
And that's no relation to the reindeer at all?
Blixen. No, that was a Blixen party made it through.
Gotcha.
No, I think, I'm not saying their name was Donner because they call it Donner Pass, but I think it's because of the Donner Party. I don't know if it was a group of people from a town, but they were related.
Okay. And it almost shouldn't be even called a party because it sounds fun.
Well, I guess you got to kind of workshop it. You don't want it to be like the Donner Massacre.
I think I went into some wormhole and there's because it's a park or whatever. It's like a
you can have a barbecue.
You can get through there now.
Yeah.
And there's actually a Donner picnic area, which seems wrong.
Right.
Maybe
what do you eat when you're there?
Maybe we need to rename that. Anyways,
if your family's like, hey, let's go here for a picnic.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
Any insights?
I am just waiting for this conversation to be over.
Meg, what's your take on cannibalism?
All right. Wait, how did we... Is that part of
That's
grid?
always my question. How did we get here? How did this happen? Because Thomas started talking about pigeons and eating them,
right.
and then it somehow got to cannibalism.
Here's how one of the people wore a pigeon costume.
That's right.
And then you ate a pigeon, and then
wow, connect those dots.
Yeah, try to copy this show. You can't.
Did you see that the guy from the birds aren't real guy?
Yeah.
Steve, our Lord and Savior. Yeah. He. He's a CEO of Enron now.
Is Enron still a thing?
Yeah, what?
He bought the whole rights to the company for $75, and now that's his new thing. Is he's starting the company again?
So wait,
and doing press tours and stuff.
Can you actually? He can own the logo and everything.
Yeah, he has everything
for $75.
Yeah, it's a miss, right? We should have got that.
Yeah, I'm a little upset.
Yeah.
That doesn't feel like a miss. It feels...
Megan, if we could do a total Supreme collaboration if we owned Enron.
He's doing a whole thing, press tour and announcements, and everyone...
Does he get the URL
and everyone thinks it's legit, because nobody knows who he is. Yeah, that was the thing. It was the URL, the logo, everything.
Dude, I'm coming out crypto coin Enron.
He owns it now. I don't think you can.
No, but I'm saying if I was him...
Oh, yeah.
Why wouldn't you? Because Enron was...
is known for their Egyptian pyramid style scaffolding.
So just throw cryptocurrency out there.
Yeah. I feel like this about Ponzi schemes, it's why don't you just do it for a year and then stop? I don't understand. Why do you have to keep going?
It's addictive.
I guess you're right. I guess if you're someone doing that, you're not going to stop.
Yeah. It's kind of like if you have any cryptocurrency, it's hard to take it out because it just keeps going.
Yeah. Have you ever been a part of a Ponzi scheme?
No.
No. just wanted to spring that on you
In
and
grade
see.
school, I was part of a Fonzie scheme.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I was like, hey, don't touch the leather.
Wait, have you been?
No, but I think
You
when...
thought about it.
But Robbie doesn't know if he's been in one. He might be in one right now.
That's actually a good question. Yeah. Yeah, I think when you're in one, you don't even
No,
know
you
it.
don't know. It's like being,
It's like being in a
cult.
cult, yeah.
I think my dad definitely was in a multi-level marketing thing. I mean, and probably my mom, because Tupperware and all those
Oh,
things.
yeah.
Did you go around cutting pennies with knives?
Oh, my dad loved to do stuff like that. Yeah.
I mean, you were in one.
There's like something you put in your hands where you could put muriatic acid on it and it wouldn't go through. It was actually pretty cool.
Do you know what was even crazier? And this was in the running community that was a scam. And then I'll get back to the costume people because they did a great job. We should probably,
You didn't even say what the prizes were.
that's why I'm going to go back. But before we get there, you used to go to the running expos and they tried to sell you this bracelet. And they'd be like, watch, if you're not wearing the bracelet, I can push you over. And they would push someone on the shoulder and they go, now wear the balance bracelet. And they would put the bracelet on you.
No way.
And they try to push you over and you couldn't be pushed over.
Is it because you were ready for it that time?
I don't know what the process be. I don't know if it's where they push you on the shoulder
That
or
sounds like-
whatever. But they were selling these bracelets to runners by the boatload.
Well, but like, because you're going to get pushed over in a race?
It's the balance
it
bracelet.
gives you better balance.
Yeah, like Robbie with his
That
ankles.
is, dude, we need to bring some of that stuff back. That's
I know.
cool.
That's how we're
I
going to
haven't
make
seen
it
that.
big.
Actually sounds cooler than anything I saw at the running event this
Dude,
year.
there's stuff going on like that. Like all right, so the Fitton titanium necklaces, I got into
right.
that. I got suckered in that one.
You had cartons of run gum probably.
Never got into run gum, but I
Are
was
we going
mad
to
at
start
them.
selling Believe balance bracelets?
I like that.
Ooh.
Yeah. Anyway,
We just need it long enough to move out of the public.
can you pull up the balance bracelets and
And
see?
if you believe it, then it works. That's
Well, I think that's how a lot. I mean, I've been to churches where they do that, to push you the same thing and
it's
try to
probably
make you fall down.
It's probably the same.
It's probably
people.
the same.
They're
It's like
let's sell. How can we monetize this?
ex-pastors of charismatic churches.
You got to check that out because
it's got to be this because there's a runner on it.
yeah. Let's see what's it called.
Oh, they still sell them?
Of course they do. Why would you stop?
True.
It's powerbalance.com.
Yeah, that's it.
No way.
They look like Power Rangers
Dude, I'll
made them.
Oh yeah, okay. Reach out if you want to
Can
be a
you read
sponsor
why
of the
they work,
podcast.
Megan? We want to do a collab.
No questions asked. We will take you.
Dude,
on.
if you combine that with Jaws size, you're not moving anywhere. Your face is staying straight.
Hey, I'm gonna throw ketones in with it. Get your
Dude.
ketones with your balance bracelet.
Ketones.
My jazzercise though, I think that works.
It's funny because ketones is also just what your sound your phone makes.
Yeah.
Remember back in the day, you like
You
the
purchase.
ketone.
Remember, there's so many things that we purchased over time that are upsetting that you purchased, like music, for example. Like,
Yeah.
think how much you spend on Apple Music.
Or CDs. Yeah.
Well, actually, the physical ones I get. Like, my boys are buying records now.
Like,
I
yeah.
didn't realize how expensive they've gotten.
What are they like? $30?
$60 for some of them.
Are they buying like double vinyl Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness?
They're buying Kanye West.
okay.
They're buying.
That's cool.
Henry likes, MF Doom, Kanye West,
All right.
all that kind of stuff. So he's getting those. Theo got the soundtrack to Tron 2.
All right.
Daft Punk is the
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's
it's
cool.
crazy. All right, so let's get back to the costume stuff. So we told you it was going to be a surprise award.
Yeah. I think.
Yeah, so
I don't know if we did tell anyone that.
we're going to give a $100 gift certificate for first place,
Wow.
50 for second place, and 25 for third place. But it's a gift certificate to Running Warehouse.
Yeah.
So you're going to be able to pick out whatever you want.
Don't
And,
say we never did anything for you.
Running Warehouse is a sponsor for Grit.
Yeah.
However, they are not providing the prizes. This is coming straight from the Believe in the Run.
But
Straight from our
Fort
end of
Knox.
year profits.
Asics does provide weekly and grand prizes for everything.
Right.
So every single week we give away pairs of shoes from Asics.
Right, but I'm saying
and-
specifically
yeah,
for this micro challenge.
For sure.
I'm not gonna lie. For how many people that are in Grit, which is around 2,000, the
Well,
prize.
there's almost 3,000 now.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Well, what about prize eligibility?
That's 2,500.
yeah. So the prize to person ratio, it's actually pretty good. Better, maybe better than a scratch off.
I got to say that just the gear you get. Okay, so let's break this down. The reason why we limit it to 2,500 people is we work with Asics and they provide a certain amount of gear for us to be able to provide as swag for the event.
Yeah.
So we're limited by size and amount of how many people can sign up for Grit. And that's why it sells out in a day. It's 2,500 pieces.
Right.
And we try to make it as good as we can. So they provide this time, for example, the sweatshirt. And if you've seen our store, you get to see it's going to have an embroidered logo on the front. It's got an embroidered Asics logo on the sleeve. And then we have the polar bear print on the back.
Yeah.
I think it's probably one of the best things.
Definitely one of the best
that we made. And then you're getting a matching beanie. Believe in the Run beanie.
It's my favorite beanie we've ever done.
I know, right? Why is that?
It's good color. It's good fit.
It's the same as the green one.
Yeah.
From a couple years ago.
I saw someone when I took my kids sledding wearing the green one.
I love that
nice.
one too.
Yeah.
So that, and then you're going to get the stickers, all that stuff. Now, then you talk about the weekly prizes. And people who didn't sign up for Grit are probably annoyed hearing this, but
Just fast forward.
you're getting the Asics
Actually, don't
giveaway.
fast forward. Wait, because this is what you'll get next
Summer.
time. Yeah.
So what did they get from the Asics pricing wise?
So every week we have 2 winners who get Asics shoes. And then at the end, they're basically, we're calling them shopping sprees, but like gift cards of a few $100s to spend at Asics.
Yeah. It's pretty rad.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty sick. And now the reason why it's above 2,500 is we also have the free opportunity that you can sign up if either you're in the United States and you just don't feel like getting the swag or don't care, but you want to be part of the community.
Yeah.
Or say that you're outside the U.S. And I know it's a bummer for you outside the U.S. to not be able to participate and get the swag. What I would do is find a friend that has an address in the U.S.
Yeah, because look at it. This is right here. You're looking at listening to the clown show that runs this thing. So imagine us trying to get a bunch of stuff overseas.
Well, the other problem
never
is we
see it.
can't do contests overseas.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So there's legal stuff.
There's also running warehouse gift cards at the end too.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. All right, first check-in. Welcome to 2025. You're probably in the middle of Grit, or if you're listening to this and you're not doing Grit, man, you should have signed up faster or lived in the U.S. or something. I don't know. Anyway, I hope you're having a good time and getting those miles in, and whether it's on the treadmill or you're, braving the snow and the ice, it's a good time to be alive.
Grand prizes. So it's it's a pretty good setup, if I gotta say so myself.
Yeah.
And by the way, all those things are randomly picked. I do the
Except for the costume
random
contest.
Yeah,
We're
except for
gonna
the
pick
costume contest. But the other ones, random number generators are pretty fun.
that. Did we decide what the contest is going to be for this week?
Oh yeah, we said so. If you're listening to Friday, you still have till Wednesday. If you're doing Grit, the best face sickle challenge.
Okay. I kind of feel like this doesn't always favor women who don't have beards.
True, but
No, I've seen a lot of eyelashes.
the eyelashes can
Yeah.
go hard. Yeah.
All right.
Or you could just
It doesn't favor the Floridians.
get on a
they-
testosterone supplement like Carl over here and grow your own beard real quick.
Yeah.
Become a chia pet for Grit.
Looking good, Carl.
Carl's
So would you, if you
Carl's
wanted to
gonna look
win
like
this,
Paul Bunyan by
would
the
you,
end of.
would you take a spray bottle out with you and hit it? Or
Yeah, I mean, why not?
I have
don't-
to tell you, the mustache ones I hate. I mean, I'll give them credit for getting good icicles on it, but to me, it always looks like you just forgot to blow your nose.
Oh yeah, because that's not all water.
I know.
Half of that snot.
Yeah.
coming
Oh
out.
man.
Like Taylor Bodine posted when I was like,
Oh, did you? That's what I was gonna show you. He texted me.
Yeah.
Did he post that one?
Maybe he's messaged it. I don't know.
Really quick, I want to go back to this power balance technology
All
because
right.
they have really amazing information on their website.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why does it work?
Okay.
So power balance holograms are created using a proprietary process featuring cutting-edge three-dimensional imaging, which makes the hologram truly unique.
Okay. Yeah, I'm in.
It's based on Eastern philosophies.
Like, is that a
Dude,
Star?
I'd be
Is
so
Star
mad.
Wars? Is Star Wars an Eastern philosophy?
They also say at the
Yeah.
bottom that
I'd be
it's
so
up
mad
to
if I
the
was-
person to decide if it works.
I
You'd
love
be
that.
so mad if what?
I'd be so mad if I'm from the Eastern places and I'm like this monk up in the thing that's spent my life meditating and trying to get. No. We never said anything about hologram stickers.
Dude,
It's up to you.
who knew that upper deck baseball cards were just an Eastern philosophy? Yeah.
It's up to you on whether or not it
Or
works, Robbie.
Pokemons. Yeah, I love that. But in the same way, placebo effect is a placebo effect.
Yeah.
If it works, it works.
True.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
So we're all getting power bracelets.
Form of icicle.
Dude, Thomas and I have been ripping weights.
Oh,
Is that what
yeah.
they call it? Getting gains? at
Dude,
the gym?
I am really enjoying it.
Oh, me too. It's great.
Because you enjoy actually lifting things, or you're like, I'm a boss, I'm going to the gym.
It makes me, the discipline of going makes me feel good. The actual feeling I get afterwards of like, you do kind of like, you run and you know how you feel euphoric after you run, but it's kind of like an exhaustion. I feel almost the opposite with the lifting. It's like I finish lifting and I feel,
It's like energizing.
Yeah.
I feel like, oh, I feel strong.
I could agree with that. Yeah. And I like that, you know, you have your notebook and it shows, you can look back and be like, oh, only a month ago or whatever, I was only doing this. Now I'm doing this. I like seeing that progression.
It is. I'm worried that like when we get to that, like we're still in the building
Yeah.
phase.
When we plateau, I'm out.
Well, like,
Yeah, what do you do when you reach a certain weight? You change the reps and stuff?
Well, that's when they start doing different work. So right now we're on pretty much a schedule. There's a 4-day rotation of exercises that we're doing where you're adding weight each time you do it. So we've been doing it for a little over a month now.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's going to be different breaking points for different exercises. Like I feel like deadlifting, I can certainly have lots of room to grow weight wise. I even think with the bench, I have plenty of room to go. I am surprised there's not a lot of spotting during the bench, but
Well, you have the bar above your chest that if you drop it, it hits the bar.
yeah, but then I'd still be pinned under the bar.
Not above your. Well, yeah, but it wouldn't do
Yeah.
anything.
Oh.
There's bars on the sides that
Okay.
if the bar falls, it stays above your chest.
And then the overhead press, I think I'm probably going to reach maximum weight in that
Yeah.
sooner than I will in squat or deadlift or bench.
Yeah. Dude, you have to know a lot of math to not.
It's not just math.
You just have to be good at math to make sure you're getting it
This
right.
takes me back to my grade school with the Muslim school with the beads.
Oh, the abacus?
Yeah,
Or
because
not abacus, but bead.
yeah, the plates.
Is that an Eastern philosophy?
That was an Eastern philosophy. The plates, it's not, you need to know math because like, okay, the bar weighs 45. How much weight do I have to put on it to get to a certain weight? But then you got to figure out, okay, what's the most efficient way to do that with the weights that are on the rack?
Yeah.
So it's like one time I had all these weights stacked up. And she's like, you could just use 135.
Yeah, you had 50 1-pound weights
Yeah.
on there. I was like, dude, you could just use one. It's like- but yeah, it's fun. I like
Do you
it.
feel a difference in your running?
I can't say that for sure
Okay.
yet, but
I think I do.
yeah. Sorry.
It feels easier, or you just feel stronger?
I would say overall, even though we're not doing core specific work, overall, I feel more solid
Yeah.
from top to bottom.
I will say I haven't been running hills a lot, but like that 50 miler and then the 6 mile hill on Sunday was all hills, and I felt pretty
Pretty
good.
strong?
Yeah. All said and done. So I think that has helped.
You also debuted your Tracksmith onesie. Do you want to tell
Yeah.
people what you thought about that minion outfit?
Yeah, the minion.
How do you pee in that?
Uh,
Not in it. How do you pee
We
while
talked
you're
about it.
wearing
You got
it?
to take it all
you
off.
just go, man.
Yeah.
I don't know, and I think I really need to start wearing a baseliner underneath Tracksmith stuff, NDO stuff.
Are you getting the chafe?
Yeah, remember I said about the NDO tights?
Yeah.
Gave me the chafe, and I, for some reason, didn't learn my lesson and didn't wear anything under these, which was, yeah, it was a little weird because if I did have to take a piss, then you're just showing your bare ass too because the whole thing comes down basically.
You have to take off your jacket, take off
So
the
you wore
straps.
a long sleeve or a turtleneck, and then just the, what are they called?
Yeah, I went to put on the full
A
costume.
bib?
Yeah.
I wanted to be authentic, so
Yeah.
I had to wear the turtleneck, and then the turtleneck, and then the bib, and I did wear a wind layer over top because it was windy that day, like a Adidas, just wind shell. But so first off, I did really like them. The back pocket is phenomenal. Like it has a back large, I don't know, spandex pocket or whatever that you can stash a lot of stuff in and it stays tight. So I thought that was actually pretty cool. But overall, I'm like, you will get your ass kicked if you run in these anywhere in middle America. And you should. Yeah. You look insane.
It'll get cold rolled.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I can't, there's, like, you can't make them look cool. There's no way.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
I'm going to rewind you for a second because I'm typically a no undergarment in my tights.
Yeah.
But with the real feel of like 12 degrees and stuff lately, and Path makes those like, because there's a component system. Path doesn't have a liner in a lot of their shorts, so
right.
Their underwear is the liner that you'd wear with that.
Yeah.
And the other day I was just kind of like lazy because I was like, I had on the Path underwear, and I was getting ready to go for a run, and I was just like, maybe a little bit of windbreaking would be nice.
Yeah.
So I left on the Path underwear and put the tights over top.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow.
Okay.
This is nice.
Nice. All right.
So I think in some cases, it's not a bad idea.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. But I mean, overall, I think they were fine. I just
They were warm.
No. Oh, yeah. They're. I mean, it's like the NDO.
Yeah.
It's actually, I think, a newer version of that, which is probably the best version. And so that was fine. But I'm just not sure I'd pay whatever it is, $200 for them.
What was the day it was really cold that we went out? Was that the same day? It might have been the morning. I went full NDO, tights and jacket.
Yeah.
And I probably wore the Brighton base layer.
Yeah, because it was like 20 degrees out that day, I think.
I will say the Path is sneaky. I tend to end up wearing something from Path almost every day.
I know, me too.
And I don't know how this has happened.
They make good stuff.
They're like, hey, here's some socks.
Yeah.
You're
They send us a lot of stuff. I think I have everything from them. But it's all good stuff.
Did you get the jeans?
He messaged me about it, yeah.
Yeah, I got a pair. What color did you go with?
I haven't. Did you actually get them?
He asked me what I wanted, and
I think I said tan.
I went tan too.
Okay.
Damn it.
Guys are gonna come in matching.
The choice was black.
Well, it's funny
gray,
that they're
tan.
Yeah, they're partnering with Jeff Rowley, the skateboarder, who I was a fan of growing up, and actually, I used to not plagiarize, but ghostwrite papers for friends in high school. Like they'd pay me to do it, and I would always make up sources because you had to have 3 sources for papers. And so I always thought Jeff sounded like a smart name for a person. So I'd always put Jeff something like as a source in the papers. And it's from Jeff Rowley, which is a weird connection back.
It's great that you grew up in a time where they didn't have internet.
Yeah. Well, like it was the beginning of the internet, so they couldn't. Nobody's checking that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Now,
Yeah.
like, I wonder if the teachers, because you probably get the papers electronically. If I was a teacher, I'd run it through like a program, and then you don't have to necessarily read every paper. But maybe there's a way that's like plagiarism, like before you even get to it.
Oh, I'm sure they have that now.
Yeah. Oh, there's definitely stuff like that. I mean, but then also everyone's writing their papers with AI. So
Yeah.
it's a whole cat and mouse game.
So here's my dilemma. Like, I like to have, like, I use Grammarly when I write, so it helps with some of the stuff, but it's not always correct.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, I could write my thing, then I could put it into ChatGPT and ask it for suggestions.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, if I'm doing that, are they now using the information that I put in there to help other people?
Right.
And then I'm like, we could be sabotaging ourselves by putting, I mean, I guess they can scan our reviews on the website anyway.
Yeah, that's a good question. That's actually an interesting point. But yeah, I'm assuming they would scan the reviews anyways on the website. Do you use it to help write your reviews?
I've tried.
I'm not judging you if you do.
No. What I've done is, like I've tried. I'll write it, and then I'll be like, okay, like grammar wise, I know I'm writing with Grammarly, so it's gonna have, most likely good structure.
Yeah.
But then I was like, okay, the other day I was like, let me take, do you know who Wisner, he wrote the book on writing well. What's William Wisner or Risner?
I don't think I do know that.
He wrote this book called On Writing Well. And I read the book and it's very, I think he taught at Harvard or something.
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about. Isn't it?
So I put the part of the review that I wrote, and I said, check this for grammar and structure, and write it in the voice of William. Is it Risner or I don't know?
I'll look at it. Don't worry about it.
And so it spat it back.
William Zinsser.
Zinsser, that's it. And it spat it back, and I was like, oh, I really like the way that it didn't change much. It just structured sentences in a way that.
Yeah.
Like easier to read.
Yeah.
Did you do that for a recent review?
Yeah.
I knew it. I freaking knew you used ChatGPT for it.
Why?
It wasn't bad. It was good, actually. I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
But I could just tell. I could just tell.
Just because the writing was better than my normal writing?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that was my thing. I was like, I still wrote it. And I mean, because you can't, how are you going to write
Dude,
stuff?
I'm not judging for it.
But I was like,
I think it's good.
Let me see what happens if I put it in here under that author. Because I love the way he writes it. If you read that book, it's just easy to read.
I'm surprised I haven't read that before.
You should read it. It's phenomenal.
It's funny because I'm rereading On Writing by Stephen King, which is honestly probably the best book for any writer to read.
Maybe I should read that one.
It's just unbelievable wealth of knowledge. There's like 3 books. I feel like you don't even need to go to college if you just read 3 books on writing, which is Stephen King's. There's another one from like the 70s that I really love.
And Zinsler you should probably check out.
Probably that one.
Yeah, I think he was a teacher at Harvard or something. Anyway, so when I used it, what was the recent one I used? It might have been the Mizuno. When I wrote the whole review.
Yeah.
And then I
I think that was the one, yeah.
Then I put it in there and said, hey, check it for structure and everything.
Yeah.
Do it this way. And it spat it back, and I read it, and I was like, I had to change a couple things back.
Yeah.
Because it just didn't understand when talking about phones and stuff like that.
Right.
And then I was like, I had this moment of oh no, this tool seems really useful, but I'm wondering if I put my reviews in there and then say somebody who's just farm factoring shoe reviews out, if they use ChatGPT, will it use the information that I put in there about this shoe?
Probably.
To assist somebody else in writing a review. But I'm like, it could probably just strip it from the website.
Well, a lot of times we'll do our video reviews before our written reviews. And so the other day I was like, well, let's see if it can write a review from what I said in a video.
Oh.
And so I put the URL in and asked it to do that, and it didn't. What it did is it took snippets from the video, and then it took snippets from everywhere across the internet. So it was Reddit, and it had everything that it listed that it took it from.
Oh, really?
But I was like, that's not helpful.
Do you use it for anything else
I don't ever use it
in life?
I used it to write a workout schedule before we were going to this gym.
Yeah.
I was like, can you give me a good 3-day-a-week workout for runners?
Okay.
And it did a decent job.
I'd imagine it would. So a friend of mine he's it's my best friend's brother, but he's 24 or something like that, 25. He said he uses it all the time, for everything.
They're saying that instead of using Google, the generation below is using ChatGPT or some form of AI instead of Googling.
And
what's the difference though of your?
So here's an example, and I actually did this the other day because I don't get grocery delivery. So I was making a couple different recipes from New York Times cooking, and so I just grabbed the ingredients because they'll build a grocery list for you. But then if you put that into ChatGPT and say, I want to get this at the Harris Teeter in Canton, and can you organize it to get it the most efficient way possible? And so it'll be get this in the produce section, get this here. And then you can ask some grocery stores, you can be what aisles are they in? So because sometimes like something like vegetable stock, I'm like, is that in the soup or the cooking aisle? Like I always forget.
I just saw an ad where it was like that, where it was Lowe's. Lowe's was saying, hey, if you come into our store, you can just have your list and you put it in their app and it'll tell you which aisles to go to and
that's brilliant. Yeah,
all that stuff. So you're not walking around.
Yeah.
Second check-in. I don't know if I didn't have the motivation right now. Luckily I have a spring marathon, so I got to start training for that. We're official training for the London Marathon is going to start next week, but like getting those base miles in, that's important. But it does help to have grit going on to, have that motivation to get out there. Because honestly, I'd stay in my blankets right now if I didn't have to get these miles in.
All right, guys. Element is still a sponsor of this podcast, but for a limited time, they're offering their chocolate medley.
Ooh, that sounds pretty delicious.
It's not like you're not going to put that in your bubbly water.
No.
You could.
Could you?
Okay.
You could.
You want it heated up, I think.
Yeah, some hot water with either the chocolate mint, the chocolate chai, or the chocolate raspberry.
I've heard it's pretty good in coffee too.
You could also put it in your coffee.
Okay.
Would you do it before your run?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some hot coffee, some chocolate medley.
I do like a mocha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All that good stuff. Also, our offer is still available, so you can go to element.com/thedrop and get a free Element sample pack.
Do you know if the sample pack would have this chocolate in it?
Yeah.
There you go.
So go get them and enjoy.
So stuff like that, I think is a good example.
Okay, I can see that. Like it's efficiencies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then the other thing I'm thinking about is I'm starting to see, like, this guy was doing a post about how Google's AI video can create a person that looks just like a person, and now we're going to have all these influencers that are there.
That was like that grandma we talked about.
Yeah, his thoughts were basically, this is actually going to, they're going to know the algorithm and know it's going to grab people's attention better than anybody else, and they're just going to, if you're a human trying to figure it out, these machines are going to be able to figure it out faster and provide the content people are looking for. But he goes, that's where it's going to become really important to have like a genuine personality.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So I kind of feel like we're in a good spot. And for the first time in my life, like I've always tried to be like, okay, what's next in technology? We got to stay on top of it and go. And I do think we need to be aware of artificial intelligence and stuff like that. But at the same time, I think that being human and having flaws and stuff and having things is going to be valued.
Oh, I totally agree. I think authenticity is like the biggest currency you can have, because it's, and I think I wrote about this recently, but I think the idea, there's a lot of promises made by technology, and some of it's cool. Like there's going to be some great things that come from it. I'm sure diseases will be cured, people, all kinds of crazy stuff. But the personal level, like it's moving too fast where we're not robots yet. So there is a connection that people want, and it's not, you can't get it from just AI or whatever. You need like an actual human to human connection, which authenticity of any kind provides. So I think it's a very valuable thing to have.
Yeah.
Real life experiences, authenticity, connecting. That's why our group runs and things like that do so well.
Yeah. I think the gatherings and being around people and actually talking to a human is going to be way more valued than maybe it ever was before.
I even think flaws are going to start being appreciated.
Well, it's funny because I saw, it was actually this morning, I think. It was an AI image of like a normal, like an attractive girl, but she was just, and it looked incredibly real. You know how you could usually tell AI is AI, but this looked
that's getting
very real. And people were like basically saying that they don't, like they want people want flaws now. It's like more attractive to have like a scar somewhere, or like, thing that's messed up, or no make, because
you'll be like, okay, that's not.
Yeah.
Otherwise, everyone will just look the exact same. And it's like.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. We watched a movie on Apple about
To the Moon.
To the Moon, which kind of, it's like, what if they staged part of
Moon
it
landing.
and part of it? Yeah.
Nice.
So it's kind of interesting. Scarlett Johansson's in it, and who's the guy from Magic
Channing
Mike?
Tatum.
Channing Tatum. It's entertaining, and actually, Woody Harrelson does a great job. It's like this government guy.
Oh, it's like a fictional movie though.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah. But it is kind of an interesting, like, starting point for a movie.
Yeah.
And then I think it's done in obviously the 60s when the space race was going on.
Mm-hmm.
But the parallel to what we're doing now and how we're going to AI, I think is the interesting part of the movie. Like, you don't think about it maybe when you're watching it, but it comes down to like, yeah, we're basically moving to this phony thing. And then I even think about like stuff that you see in the news, like the bombing with the Tesla truck or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, soon we're going to see news reports. It could be completely fictitious. We're not going to know unless you are actually someplace and see it.
Yeah, I mean, even a lot of stuff, like you'll see reels or content, and I'd say most of it, nobody knows if it's staged, not just like AI, but if it's fake content.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like I know when it's fake content.
I know, but a lot of times I feel like you don't know, and
Megan
nobody
gets mad at me because she'd be like, Thomas.
Yeah, he's like, can you believe? I'm like, that's not like real. Like
well,
they totally set that up.
Lake Como and Deep Creek is a whole thing.
Dude, I haven't been to Deep Creek in a while. It could look like Lake Como.
Yeah, they.
I've gotten so many things for Lake Como now, by the way.
All right, we're moving.
But yeah, I feel like just people don't believe anything they see anymore.
Well, the problem is I think there's some people who don't, but I think there's a lot of us who do. And that's the scary thing that's going to happen is like, I feel like, you know how you may have made fun of your parents for doing something with like sending you pictures in emails and stuff that like, you're like, that's clearly a meme. You just put that on your Facebook page or whatever.
Like they took a photo of their computer screen
Yes.
and then sent you that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I've always felt like that was cringy, and I was like, I'll never be like that. Now I feel like we're going to get to this space where stuff's happening so quick, and I'm going to be like, what? This happened? My sons are going to be like, Dad, come on. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Talk about human connection, though. Little shout out to Matt, who sent us Christmas presents to
Oh yeah, Matt Fritz, who was a Chicago shoegazer, by the way. He was one of my favorite people from that crew because he could have finished faster, maybe not under 4, but close to it. Maybe, I can't remember. But he hung back and stayed with Low the whole time, him and Brian, and he was just like getting the crowd going like crazy, dude. Like he was gung-ho on pumping the crowd up the whole way, especially his later miles that suck. And he helped carry Low, honestly, and myself.
Have you ever heard of Fritz the Cat?
To the end. I don't think so.
Okay. During the hippie days, there was an artist that did some stuff out of San Francisco.
Okay.
And Fritz the Cat was one of it, but it was a pot-smoking cat.
Was it
What did that do with anything?
This guy's Matt
a
Fritz.
pot-smoking cat?
Yeah.
It wasn't Paul Klee, was it?
No.
Oh, okay.
But Matt,
He was a guy who did Keep Truckin'.
Oh, okay.
he wrote all of us individual letters and gave us all a gift, which was extremely thoughtful. And I think we each got a book. Thomas, you got?
I got Brothers. Alex Van Halen wrote about Eddie and him and the rise of Van Halen and stuff like that. I'm about a little more than halfway through. I'm not as fast a reader as Megan.
Yeah, so he sent me Life's Too Short, which is the memoir of Darius Rucker, who is...
Still alive.
Yeah, he's a country singer, grew up in Charleston, South Carolina, and if you know Hootie and the Blowfish, he was the lead singer of that band. And I read it in 2 days, and it was really great.
Wow.
Yeah,
And
Megan just can fire through stuff.
it made me realize I need to be reading more books that are not just performance or business driven, because I realized that I enjoy reading,
Yeah.
and it's a lot easier to read a book that's enjoyable versus like always.
The funny thing is I just purchased, right before I got this, I just purchased 2 books, James which is kind of like a parallel story to Huckleberry Finn for Jim.
Oh.
And then I got a book called Something Hearts that's a Western style book. I forget the thing off.
It's called what? What's the name of that the last one you said? Hearts?
Something Hearts. It's a Western about some. It has I don't know. Anyway,
see if I can find it.
So
Hearts West.
No,
The True Story of Mail Order Brides.
no, I like that
On the Gold
I'll have
Rush
to
era.
get that one.
That actually does sound interesting. True Stories of Mail Order
Let
Brides.
me see. I can probably pull it up on my
Mail
Amazon.
order brides.
Mail Order Brides of the Gold Rush era.
Wait, mail order
What?
brides.
Like you order
Oh,
them.
not like females.
Yeah.
Okay.
You order them through the mail and then they arrive and then you marry them.
Is that like Amazon though, where like you can return it if you don't like it?
I don't think there is a return policy on those.
Wouldn't that suck if you're like, I did not order this one.
Yeah, like the
Has final sale written on it.
yeah, the hieroglyphic drawing you sent me does not look anything like her. Her boobs are quite different.
Meg, did you buy a book called Lead It Like Lasso?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the Midnight Library is the one that I want to read.
Wait, so what was what was the one that you got, Meg?
Life's Too Short.
Darius
Memoir
Rucker.
of Darius Rucker. Yeah, it was
Life's
really
Too
good. It
Short.
just details his life, which I knew nothing about. I just knew Hootie and the Blowfish was a big band, and it was fun
Okay.
to sort of get the background on.
It was
on
funny.
his whole life.
Okay, it was funny because I was like, "Isn't that about like a little person?" And there is the Ricky Gervais show about it's just Life's Too Short, which does have a little person in it.
Yeah, not that one.
Okay.
Darius Rucker.
I found the books that I ordered. One's James, a novel, and the other one is The Heart in Winter.
Heart in Winter. That sounds like a good grit book.
Dude, it sounds really good.
Where do you find? How do you find these books?
Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Somebody posted a review
I always
of
just
it.
I always just Google bestsellers and Amazon and look at those.
Yeah.
Check out A Heart in Winter and James. I
Okay.
think, and it was funny because I ordered ordered those, and I saw somebody in their story had the James book, so
I'll have to check that out. They sound good.
they might be popular. Yeah,
He sent me basically the autobiography of Ian Fleming, the author
007.
of James Bond. So it's a pretty massive book.
I think he was a playboy.
he was, yeah. But I think the premise of the book is a lot of the legends around him and stories aren't exactly what you would think. It's more like tabloid style stuff. But it's like 800 pages, that book. So I'm going to have to really commit myself.
Yeah, I'm halfway through the Van Halen one, and there is some pictures, and it's
Oh, yeah?
200. It's like
Thomas needs like 10 more snow days for this to happen.
yeah, it's like 223 pages.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Oh wait, yeah. I'm. You can see my progress.
Yeah, it's very good.
By the
Oh,
way,
that's pretty
I
good.
found a use for photos that are laying around. You can use them
Bookmarks?
as bookmarks.
Nice.
So yeah.
So for Christmas, I asked for a like point and shoot camera, and Kodak makes it's called like a half frame camera. So like when you take a photo, it like they're all oriented vertically, so
Oh.
you get more out of the film or whatever. But I feel like I've been using that, and I really like.
Is it digital or?
So it's just totally film.
I was like, where are you going to get that developed?
But there is a place in Station North that develops film.
I mean, I think the Walgreens.
No, they don't anymore.
They don't?
Yeah, it's like maybe some, but not the one by our.
Oh, I thought the one by our place because I see people standing by that.
No, it's a FedEx drop off.
Oh.
Yeah. But it's interesting because I forgot what it feels like to be like when you take a picture. You're like, this has to be good because I'm like, this is expensive.
I can't snap 2 or 3.
Yeah, which is kind of cool because it's like you just have to accept what it is.
Unless you get your roll of film back and they all suck.
That was my problem.
Yeah, but I mean, they won't. But maybe someone blinks in it. Maybe not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just remember going to like when we used to get the film done when I was in
Oh, yeah.
college, and you go to get your double prints back.
Uh-huh.
You'd be like,
Yeah.
What the?
I know. Yeah. No, I remember. But it's kind of cool when you get it back and you're like, oh, I forgot I even took that or whatever. But so the problem with my photos on my phone is it's such a like deluge of garbage, where it's either mixed with just, oh, I want to take this picture and screenshot or whatever. It's just like so much stuff that I'm never gonna filter through it personally. I don't manage that stuff well, and I'm never gonna like go through everything and pick out my favorite ones. And then
No, but the
print them out.
software's getting better. So like the other day was in my photos, and Apple recommended that I watch like hey, this day
Right.
5 years ago.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, hey, 2020, that wasn't that long ago. I'm like, oh, that was 5 years ago. And you go through the pictures and you're like, you had a beard.
Yeah.
And I was like, it went through and I was like, oh. And there's one or two in there that I was like, I'll send that to the boys. Like,
Yeah.
It's memory.
No, I mean, I will say there is some for sure usefulness, because like if I need to search for a picture even of a soccer ball or something,
The search feature is pretty
it'll
sweet.
show up.
Yeah.
It'll pull most of those. So I'm not saying there's not value in it, but
No, I get it though. Like because it's digital, you'll
Yeah.
take 3 shots.
exactly.
Just because
What
you
is
can.
that? Why do I take 3 shots? That's the worst. And then you're just like, which one?
Yeah.
They're the exact same.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're doing the best shoes for $150. So I may take like 3 pictures.
Yeah.
And I realized, but she's taking like 3 of each. So I have like a block on my phone, and I'm like, this would be embarrassing if like someone pulled up my phone page and it's just like 20 pictures
I
of me
assume
doing
you're
the
going
same
to
thing.
delete all the ones you don't use.
Right, but that's like, why not just get one good one? Now we're just like, bap, 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 bap,
Yeah.
bap.
Because, you blink, something happens.
That's the thing. And then I'm never gonna delete all these because it's just too much. There's 20 shoot photos, or maybe I delete them all. And
They
then-
have those apps that will clean.
Delete duplicates or
yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
And then that's a whole other thing. Then I need to download an app. And then I need to give my password and my email. And then I need to verify every time and update it every 2 months. And I'm just like,
And I intentionally, I have one photo on my phone I don't really want people to see, at least not for a year. It's the one of the pre-workout.
okay. Yeah.
But like, have you ever been like looking at someone's phone and you see something on it that you shouldn't?
So that's the weirdest thing. When someone goes to show you a photo and you're like looking over their shoulder and they're scrolling, I'm like, I should be doing this.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what's on there.
I've seen stuff that I'm like,
When are you looking at people's phones?
It's just-
photos.
Whenever you're
When
next-
someone will hand it you their phone, they'll be like, "Oh, I want to show you we're looking at this thing," and
Or
you'd be
even
like,
if they're just looking at it, it's your natural tendency to just
look.
look at the screen to see
Yeah.
what's going on.
the worst one was when somebody was showing me a photo on their phone, and when they went back to their gallery to pull up
no.
another one, I saw shit that I shouldn't have seen.
Like their wife or something.
I don't even want to tell you. And then they were going through and they started scrolling, and they went back too far, and I saw like the big picture, like not just a thumbnail.
Did they see that you saw?
I never spoke to him about it, and I was like, "Oh, that's great," and just kind of let it go.
Was it someone I know?
You would know the person, yeah. Maybe after the show, I'll tell you guys. But
Was it Ryan Detter?
I don't even want to. By the way, he's like, I've been mentioned on your show twice, and it's been Robbie's gotten me both times. But then he goes in to tell me at the party about how many guys pick up on him.
Yeah.
Like he's bragging about it.
He's a dandy. He's
a date, but I'm also, here's the other thing.
He has good style. He's a
He's
nice
going
guy.
he's going to bars that aren't beer drinking bars, and he's ordering drinks that are extremely fancy.
He's a man of culture.
Right. But I mean, he's throwing, like, you can't, yeah.
I don't know what to say. I love that. Like, I'm bringing up, like, he's gonna be so annoyed.
He's like,
when he-
fourth mention on the show.
It's late
Still
enough.
not positive.
It's late enough in the podcast that nobody's listening at this
well,
point.
apparently somebody at his office listens, and then
Yeah,
they'll
that's-
send it to
yeah.
him.
It's gonna come.
The best thing is,
He works at NASA,
I'm
too.
pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is gonna come out when he's on vacation, so it's gonna be freaking
Yeah,
perfect.
he's always on vacation. The best thing was, though, we're watching this NASA show. Ben goes, "What does Ryan do at NASA?"
Yeah. What does anyone do in the federal government? No one really knows. No, I think he actually does stuff as opposed to Whitefoot Jared.
But I think Megan was like, he doesn't seem bright.
No, I never said that. I
Wow.
didn't know what he did.
I'm kidding, Ryan.
yeah.
Jeez.
Ryan's gonna take that personally.
I never said that, Ryan.
Yeah, but Thomas just did, so there goes that
I was
friendship.
like, he's dumb as rocks. I don't know. He's probably the guy who watches the guy hit the button.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm kidding, Ryan. You know we
What?
love you.
Man. All right, well, there's goes some friendships down the drain to start 2025.
Yeah.
And it wasn't on Ryan's phone, the picture. So there you go.
So what I got for Christmas was sourdough starter.
Oh, nice.
A kit. And I made it.
Who got you that present?
You did.
Who's benefiting from that present?
You are.
How was your first batch or
It
whatever?
actually turned out really well. I'm
Stupid
gonna get
good.
out my photos.
Oh, I want to see it.
Robbie, it's ridiculous. It's now it was bagels, pretzels. What else did you make?
Here's one.
Oh, yeah, that looks good.
Dude, she's even doing like artistic scoring
See,
on
look,
it.
you took 2 pictures of the same damn
Yeah.
loaf.
Yeah, there's
Be careful you
multiple.
don't have any weird pictures
I
on
know,
your phone.
I'm like-
See, this
I'm like,
is
you can
exactly
see
what
all
I'm
of it.
talking about.
That's
I don't want to see
most recent
Thomas's
one.
ding dong. I'll say that.
You have to look at those on my
That's
phone.
a good.
That's my most
And
recent
Carl's.
one.
Let me see that.
That's
Thomas,
bad for HR.
we don't even. Me and Megan have no idea what's happening.
Yeah,
right now.
I wasn't
We're
listening.
looking at bread, and
We're enjoying sourdough photos.
Thomas having a side.
Carl's losing it back there. Carl, can you open your gifts so we know what book you got?
Oh, Carl
Yeah,
got
Carl
one
got
too.
one, too.
That's
Everyone.
amazing.
It was the
That looks good. I'm not gonna lie. That looks
It's-
Robbie,
it tastes amazing.
It,
Yeah.
it tastes okay if you get it fresh out the oven.
Yeah.
It's insane.
R. Kelly style.
And even if
Fresh out the kitchen. Sorry, we should
even
clarify
after that, you throw it in the toaster the next day.
Yeah. Oh yeah. With a little bit, you just put a little bit of butter on that.
Yeah.
That's going to be your birthday gifts now. I'm just going to get you guys loads of
All right.
sourdough.
Oh yeah, I'm in.
It's a calendar? Yeah. Okay, Matt, that's a great gift. You knew Carl can't read.
Maybe I needed one of those because of grit.
Yes, cat calendar.
I like that.
Final check-in. If you're running right now, how's your breathing doing? This is my favorite. It's a very good indicator of where your fitness is. If you're breathing too hard, slow it down a little bit, relax, let it come back to you. If your breathing feels good and your legs feel good, maybe pick it up a little bit.
Cat Carl over there. Yeah. Creepy cat Carl.
Yeah, I love it.
All right. Yeah. So I guess we could talk about a
Yeah.
shoe.
Let's talk about the shoe. I'm getting a little more like I'm like, Robbie, you got to try the shoe.
I'm gonna try it.
So what we're talking about is the Anta C202 GT5 or
Yeah, what
5
kind
GT.
of insane name
Is that the real name of the shoe, by the
Yeah.
way?
Yeah, well, it's a Chinese company, and I have to say,
They're big in the basketball space now, though.
yes. And if you like, I think that we're ready for these Chinese companies. We got Mount to Coast, we've got Anta, Li-Ning. Like, you have to consider them, and I don't think it's a bad thing, especially like, it's weird to me if people are like, I don't want a Chinese company. All our shoes are made over there anyway, pretty much. They're Vietnam. So it's like, what's the difference? But
Right. So they have a Kyrie Irving. That's the big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so anyway, this shoe is phenomenal. I just love it.
And this is not a race shoe. Or it could be.
I guess it could be. It's got a carbon composite plate, and the foam is kind of like a supercritical foam.
What's the name again?
The C202 5 GT. And apparently the 6 is already out.
Yeah.
But I don't know anybody over here who's running
Okay.
it.
Sorry to interrupt you. I was just trying to pull up the stats.
What was also interesting about the shoe, Robbie and I got the same shoe, except for Robbie got one that looks like splatter paint Spider-Man.
It kind of, yeah, it looks like the, what's the Venom version of Spider-Man?
Venom.
No, but there's like the red, what's the red one? Not the black Venom, the red Venom. You know what I'm talking about, dude.
Not so much.
Oh yeah, Carnage.
Carnage,
Duh.
okay.
Or the, it kind of looks like what the Upside Down looks like in the,
In
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things, yeah.
doesn't it?
I have to say, for the shoe, this kind of light mesh can be hit or miss. This one hits. It's got a nice thin tongue. Came with 2 pairs of laces, but the laces look the same, so I don't know what the difference is. Maybe one's longer. I didn't open it up. But the heel counter in this is one of the best in one of these types of shoes that I've had.
It looks really light.
I don't know if you can see it.
It looks nice.
I haven't even weighed it yet. The foam is fantastic. This is what, like, you guys get all excited about the endorphin speed from Saucony.
Yeah.
This is what I wish it felt like.
It looks like a lighter version. I'm interested to see how much it weighs.
Right.
Maybe it just looks light and it's
I
not
think
light.
it might be. It just looks probably. Let me see.
So it's like a nitrogen infused, I don't know, midsole.
Okay, it weighs 8.2 ounces for a size 10 and a half.
That's pretty light. Yeah.
Let me see grams wise. 232.
Full carbon plate.
Yeah.
Yeah, their website though, it's the like tech specs, it's like not what we
Typical.
understand.
It's not does not
Yeah,
translate
it doesn't
well.
translate well at all.
Robbie has a whole theory that they need to have.
I just don't know why somebody doesn't offer services as an American to do Chinese translation on websites and
Yeah, that needs to happen.
technical product materials. It would just be, because there's so much stuff that's lost in translation. It could be a profitable business venture for sure.
Yeah. So they list this as a up-tempo trainer. I guess and also like a racer, but for me, I used it for a faster pace. I went out with the Faster Bastards and an up-tempo pace for myself. And then a couple other workouts. I think I did a run with you on one of them where, I actually ran into you. And then I was like, to keep up with Meg, so I shot up at the park and I was just decided to run by the office, and I'm coming down the street and Meg's on it. So I have to kind of sprint after her, and I'm yelling like, Meg. She's like, why are you screaming? I go, because you're running fast and I'm trying to catch you before.
Well, I had like headphones in, I was listening to music, and I thought I heard someone yelling, and then I was like, no, and I kept running, and then I'm like, that's someone screaming.
Oh, you're like yelling?
Yeah, because she was like a half a block ahead of me, and I was like, I'm not going to catch her unless I start sprinting.
Nice.
So after I ran with her for a little while, I was like, oh, that pace felt good, and I kept going, and I just really like this shoe.
I gotta say, why could that not be a $180 race day shoe? Because I feel like it could be.
It definitely could be.
I mean, it has, like, it seems like it's
All the makings of a race shoe.
It's probably, I'm sure some people are going to use it for race day. It doesn't have the aggressive feel to me of some of the race day shoes. I really like the foam, but it doesn't feel like the...
Do they have a race day version?
I think they do.
So they have...
This one's listed as like an up-tempo / race day shoe. So I kind of see this in the same spot as like an endorphin speed.
It's very confusing because there's the C202 5 GT, then there's the C202 6. I don't know what the GT means. Then there's the C202 6 Pro.
I'm guessing the Pro is the race shoe.
Is the race shoe.
Yeah.
That's $240.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this says on the side of it, says for higher cadence. So I don't know if they were going for that kind of thing that Asics was doing.
Okay.
But for me, the way that I would use this, and this may not be for everybody, this would be a shoe that I could use for up-tempo or if I wanted to race day. But it's not quite as dialed in as a race day.
On the race day, it says all new ejection carbon plate. That doesn't make sense.
Injection is probably the word they're going for.
It should be injection, but it's ejection or just none of the ejections.
What ejects?
Yeah, I don't know. At least it doesn't say ejacts.
The liquid rubber on the bottom is really nice. True to size fitting. Like I really love this shoe. I can't wait for Robbie to try it because I really think this specifically ties into what I think are your preferences in a shoe. Like,
that probably makes sense.
This is to me, what I had hoped the endorphin speed would feel like when everybody's like, oh, I love the endorphin speed. I was like, I like it. But this really feels. Now, the weird thing is with this, I wore it on Saturday's run with the Faster Bastard, and people thought I was wearing a Puma.
When he walked downstairs, I was like, that looks like a Puma.
Well, that design does look like a Puma.
And then the other weird thing is a woman running behind me thought that this was a Brooks logo on the bottom.
Which also looks like a Brooks
looks
logo.
like a Brooks or Diadora, and also looks like a Continental pattern. Looks like the Adidas pattern styling of midsole or outsole.
Yeah.
I'm sure they took some inspiration. from places.
But this is the crazy thing to me is I look at a shoe like this from, they're entering the space for running. They've
Right.
obviously done a good job with their basketball shoes. And I think of another company that does basketball shoes and running shoes that's in Baltimore.
Yeah.
I'm like, why can't you guys put something like this together?
That is a good question.
Then I look at like the Adidas Evo SL, which you just recently finally have run in.
Right.
And I'm like, this is such a simple shoe. How come every shoe company can't just make one of these?
I don't know. But yeah, I didn't know, I hadn't run in the Evo SL because they didn't have my size. And so I finally got it. And I got to say, this shoe's ridiculously good.
Like, do you see why I was so like, this has got to be our shoe of the year?
Yeah. I don't see how honestly, it's going to be very difficult. I know that there's a lot of stuff coming in 2025, but for $150, for how good it feels underfoot and everything.
How good it looks.
Yeah. I'm just like, who's going to beat this?
Like,
honestly, I really like the Mizuno Neo Zen a lot. I thought that was like not too far off, but yeah, it's going to be.
I think that the Neo Zen is really close to the Evo SL, and I really feel like the Nova Blast, actually, the foam on it is similar to the Evo SL.
Yeah.
I think where the Evo SL wins is it has that upper that feels like it's not just for race day, that you could wear it, casually and stuff. So you have a great looking shoe that feels great underneath your foot. Like, I want every color too. I saw like one of the Faster Bastards has the black with the white stripes.
Yeah, it's nice.
And I'm like, oh, it's so hot.
Yeah, it's going to be an icon shoe for sure. You told me, you're like, it's basically the Nike Epic React, which
for some reason they destroyed.
Yeah, it still blows my mind that Nike didn't find a way to keep that alive, or maybe they'll bring it back. It's such a beautiful, simple shoe.
It was.
And I don't see Adidas making the same mistake.
Now, there is one thing with this shoe, the Anta shoe. Like this you can see the rubber flex of the design that was printed on this
coming
mesh.
off, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I mean, I have 30 miles on them, but it's kind of weird that the application is like, it's cosmetic, but...
Oh, this thing?
Yeah. It's just like kind of like rubberized ink that's on the mesh.
Oh, yeah, I see.
But like toe down on this, I love the way it looks on the foot. I think it's a great shoe.
Yeah, seems pretty cool. All right, anything else that's going on? We'll be in Miami. Are we telling people that?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to have 2 boats.
2?
2.
We'll be in Miami.
We're finalizing some details, but we will be in Miami at the end of this month / the beginning of February.
We're putting our miles in on the Bondi.
Doing some really fun stuff. You'll have a chance to run with us. You'll have a chance to get some gooders. You'll have a chance to probably get a sweet tank.
Like an army tank?
No, like a singlet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, all those details we will finalize and share with you all as soon as we have them.
And we were talking about, what to hand out to people. They're like, the Miami race is, nobody's going to want to wear more than a singlet. So.
I was looking at the historical weather. Whew.
Yeah.
Bad.
Well,
I'm a little nervous because
we're all signed up for the half, so it should be
I
a
suffer
day.
anything over 60. I start slowing down.
It's good. That's the extreme low.
I know.
On a good day.
Well, what's funny is I saw Aldrin, and Christina. I saw them last night.
How'd you see him?
Her sister lives in Severna Park.
Did you go down there?
Why did I forget Christina's last name?
Welsh.
Christina Welsh, who was a former podcast guest. So they were up, I guess, for just visiting in Severna Park. And then their flight left last night at like 10:30, which hopefully it made it on time because it's been snowing here. But they just stopped, basically just swung by.
Nice, Aldrin. Thanks for saying hi. We live a block away from Raleigh. You're dead to me. And Christina, I supported your running and comment on all your stuff.
Thomas is continuing his trend of losing friends.
It was
It
was kind of a last minute thing, and I was like, "There's no way Thomas is." I was gonna invite you, but I was like, I feel like you're not gonna leave the house. Would you have left the house?
To come see Aldrin, I would have popped my head in.
Dude, I'm sorry.
It's all right. Aldrin.
I feel like it was like 8 o'clock at night, so I feel like I know when you're.
You may be winding down.
When you're in your space, I just assume.
Yeah. I would have gone out on my deck and said, "What's up?"
All right, well, next time.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding.
But anyways,
I will always love Aldrin, and Christina. I always will support you because you're badass.
that was the first time I ever actually met her in person.
Dude, she keeps smoke. You didn't meet her when we were down at the Donna?
No, I don't. Not whenever she was there. I didn't meet her that year. I think I was there a different year.
All right.
And so she was saying about she was supposed to run the Miami Marathon because she's with Tracksmith.
She can handle the heat.
She's
too.
with Tracksmith
Yeah.
and they're doing their
Yeah.
issue.
Oh, is she with Tracksmith?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, but she said, she was like, I'm not. She's like, the trials were terrible and there's no way.
So she's not racing it at all?
Yeah. Because she said, like, she runs in Florida, but she doesn't race
Yeah.
in Florida. And she's
Yeah,
like, I'm not running in the Miami Marathon.
We're doing the half, and I don't know.
I feel like you can suffer through a half.
Yeah, but I'm going to suffer through it, but I'm going to suffer it at a slower pace.
Need to bring that LMNT for sure.
We're going to be wearing a new fun shoe we can't talk about yet.
I know, but I'm still going to be running. I know myself, like, unless something miracle happens, like to go from the freezing temps of Maryland.
That's why the treadmill runs aren't so bad right now.
I know, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I can pull one out of the hat. You know what I have been noticing, though? Carl's been throwing down.
He's training for Miami.
Yeah, so it says the average daily low is 63 and high 76.
But if you look at the race day temps, like they were all like 90% humid and like 80 degrees.
Yeah. And when we're running in the cold, dude, that's like, you might as well be 110.
Yeah.
Well, that was like when we went to New York that one year, and it was like 60 or 70 at the.
Yeah.
And it was just like.
Well, this year
destroyed us.
Boston was horrible.
Yeah, that was true.
'Cause it was only, I think it peaked at 70 or something, and that was just
And we trained through the winter.
miserable.
Yeah.
Dude, I've had such great luck with races.
Yeah. Good thing Tom's is coming and we're bound for a 90-degree day. Just kidding. It's going to be fun no matter what.
Yeah.
It will be.
All right. So, yeah, we'll share those details once we have them.
All right.
Who knows? Maybe I can pull a rabbit out of the butt or hat.
I didn't know that was a trick. I didn't know that was something Houdini did. I think
Now
it was
you know. The sensors made them start using a hat. Before that, though, it was
It
totally
was just out of the butt.
yeah, anal bunnies.
Oh,
Butt bunnies,
On
man.
that note-
Apparently,
Dude.
what was it? PETA got involved.
Yeah. It said no more.
Stop that.
No more disappearing acts for you.
Lucky rabbit's foot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So hey, we're really looking forward to seeing y'all at the grit party tomorrow. Tacos, beers, on us, and some fun
That's
times.
if you're listening on a Friday.
yeah.
All the details are on our.
The party's on a
description.
Saturday.
Yeah.
It'll be Saturday, January 11th, starting at 11:30 for the 5K fun run, and then grubbing it up and drinking some Ministry of
And then
Brewing.
the Steelers are coming here.
Oh, that's right.
I won't even be in town.
Megan
crazy.
wanted the Steelers to come here.
That'll be a great.
I think it's a epic. They're on a losing streak.
Oh, the Ravens are going to destroy them.
Yeah.
I hope so. You never want to.
Thomas, I thought you were going to gloat about your win.
Oh, I
You
didn't even
bring
think
it
about
up.
that. See, the win doesn't. I won our football fantasy league, but it doesn't have the if I really tried and I put the effort in and I conquered everybody, then I would feel like a victor.
So I should feel like the victor.
Somewhat, you should. What really happened was I just picked all Ravens players.
We happen to be great.
And Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry and Zay Flowers just racked up points for
And
me.
Rashad Bateman. Yeah, you have literally, and you had Justin Tucker for a while.
Yeah. They just racked up points for me, and I ended up winning that way. The only satisfaction I got out of it was the person I beat, and your punishment for getting beat is I won't even mention your name. They cared.
Oh, yeah. I mean, to be fair, Lindsay, if you're listening, you're no longer the commish. You never run a fantasy football league until the last week of the season because there's so many players that get benched.
Wait, she had the option to do that or not?
Most people end the fantasy football at week 17 because there's
But you had the option.
Yeah, you have the
Yeah.
option.
Oh. Hey, I appreciate Lindsay for putting it together. Thank you, Lindsay.
Yeah.
But we're going back to Yahoo next year. I don't think we like the ESPN as much.
ESPN sucks.
That one's stupid.
They try to inject ads into everything you do, and it's a horrible experience. It's much like using the Believe and Run website. Site.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I'm just kidding. No, I feel like our ads are actually pretty. There's some, but I insert the ads into our reviews, and I try to make it.
Let me ask you something.
Somewhat
Would you
purposeful.
rather have to pay for the content
Exactly.
or deal with some
Yeah.
ads popping up every once in a while?
I try to make it a not aggressive situation for people.
Just because I think that he would be totally hurt if I don't mention his name. Chad.
Clydesdale Chad.
You came in second. Meg came in third.
Beat out Robbie.
Beating Robbie by how many points?
Well, you ended up beating me by a decent amount.
It ended up being a little bit more, but when we looked at it, it was a tenth of a point, and I was like, this is incredible.
It was like 202.3
and
to 202.2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, that hurts.
Yeah, whatever.
But yeah. Yeah, what are we going to do now? The football pool is over. Is there another sport?
I have some gambling props coming up that if you want to get in on it, Meg.
All right, let's do it.
Some playoff action.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm in. Especially we got to do something for the Steelers Ravens.
Yeah. No, I have a thing with some friends that goes through the playoffs if you want in on it.
Okay, I'm in.
All right.
Yeah, Meg is thoroughly into gambling these days.
Yeah. We should, while we're down there, we should go to the, we should take a night and maybe go to the Hard Rock Casino outside Miami. It's a wild time.
All right.
Yeah.
Have you been there?
Oh, yeah. It's
Wait, when did you go down there?
Because when I have a friend who lives in Fort Lauderdale,
Okay.
like I went last winter to visit him, and we usually go there like one night, and I might spend like $100 or something, but it's like a glitz and like the scene is crazy.
Oh.
Like
I
a
play
lot
blackjack.
of rich people going all out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we show up in our Bondis?
Yeah, I mean, you can wear whatever, but it's
Okay.
like if you want to go for people watching, it is a good place to go
Okay.
people
All right, let's
watching.
do that.
But I think it's a little bit outside Miami, but it's still Miami.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Anyways.
I think it's time to wrap it up.
Yeah. Hi, Ma.